Welcome to Laughing at the World. Here's your host, Dave G. Several media outlets are reporting that Paris Jackson, that's the hot chick above my left shoulder, is claiming that the person singing on his late father's last album was actually not that of Michael's, but of an imposter. Although not black like his father, it seems like MJ did succeed in passing down his androgynous appearance. I mean, can you tell the difference between this kid, Madonna's daughter, and the Hanson boys? I can't. Oh, sorry, just got distracted. Back to the broadcast. Well, our sources in the recording industry tell us just who's behind the hoax. You won't believe your ears, because he sounds nothing like the guy on the album. Yes, it's the Silver Fox himself, and this time Teabag ain't taking prisoners. The rumors he died years ago were all just a lie. And no, Mom, he isn't the barista at our local Starbucks. Hicks says that instead of dropping the ball this time and making crap records, he's teaming up with hunk of burnin' love, Elliot Yamin, and has made what some are calling the best porn background music the industry's ever known. Have a listen.
Fellas, I wonder, would you mind if I talk to you for a minute? You know, sometimes we have tendencies, or should I say we forget.
Apparently this wasn't commonly known, but Michael Jackson loved teabagging. A few days before Snooki cleared up whether or not she was preggers or just turning into a hairy calzone, MTV execs announced that she and co-star Jwoww would be in a spin-off reality show airing next fall. The creators say the reasoning behind the move is Snooki's unique talent drunkenly spinning off things, and they added she's even better at falling into them. Some critics wonder, though, if her unplanned pregnancy will affect a show that has often relied on clubbing, getting hammered, and other sexual themes. Show creators admit that to offset the lack of sexy content, that they may have to rely more on Jwoww showing off her fake boob scars, sun-damaged skin, and wrinkled man face. I mean, seriously, the more plastic surgery she has, the more her breasts look like they were made out of a Lego set. Meanwhile, a pregnant Snooki is worried about more important things, as you can hear in this recent interview with Cattle Breeding Magazine.
Well, I don't know. My biggest concern, I guess, is that I'll be just beating that beat back in the club, I'll bend over, and my baby's head will pop out. I mean, that's a big deal. Well, another important query would be, when do you stop drinking? I know you can drink in the first and second trimesters, but at some point in the third you gotta stop. So I asked my mom, when did you stop drinking? She said never. And because I look so good in a bikini now, everybody wants to know, am I going to pass the baby naturally, like through my butthole? Or am I going to pick a date and have a good Samaritan section? I don't know.
Well, Snooki, it was great having you on the show. I look forward to seeing what kind of syndrome your baby has. Over the weekend, Beyonce was photographed breastfeeding her young son, Blue Ivy, at an Italian cafe in the West Village of New York City. The restaurant, Sant'Ambrose, has been flooded ever since. When interviewed, the owners remarked, "It's amazing what a little side boob can do for your business." Looks like instead of getting his education on the streets, e.g. the famous Jay-Z song, the little guy is getting mostly A cups and B cups attending the School of Hard Knockers. Well, we had a chance to speak with B.I. recently, who we were told is working on his first album. Have a listen. So I hear that you're making an album. I mean, at such a young age, that's amazing.
Yeah, stick around. My first album's going to drop in the next few minutes. I'm calling it The Poo Print. Recognize.
Well, I'm assuming there's some deeper meaning to this for you. Can you explain?
Nah, pretty much. Daddy stepped in my last album with his gaiters on. He wasn't too happy. Jacob wasn't happy. So naturally, I thought this was hilarious. So, we dabbled with other titles. I thought about maybe Collision Course with Your Shoe and Watch the Throne Unplugged. Recognize.
Can you tell us, where we can find your album? Will it be on iTunes?
They ain't on iTunes. My album's right here in my Pampers Deluxe. Recognize. It's time for my nap.
We're no strangers to love.
Megan Fox told Jay Leno last week that she's having a painful laser treatment procedure to have her tattoos removed, now that she's a little more mature. Fox says they represent foolish mistakes from her past and did not want to live with the reminder forever. Yeah, I bet. It's hard enough seeing Brian Austin Green every day. A source from the Transformers movie set says that each time she's on TV, they celebrate in some way, mostly because Cheyenne Bay split the money and royalties she was going to get, while her replacement got a Toyota Yaris. We have breaking news: Shia LaBeouf just high-fived Michael Bay so hard his entire arm fell off. Last but not least is video footage from our trip with Stephen Hawking on the Zero-G Vomit Comet, a jet that flies in an undulating pattern above the jet stream to simulate weightlessness. I'm sure we'd all love to get inside his mind. You gotta wonder, what theorems is he postulating? Is he solving problems of quantum mechanics? Or perhaps the mysteries of dark energy? And by dark energy, what I really mean is, that dong da dong dong dong. Well, we were about to find out. His answer? Naked ladies. Up until then, we had dismissed the reports that Hawking was a patron of several Boston strip clubs, but now we couldn't help but ask him a few questions, so we reluctantly followed him to his favorite nudie bar. Sir, is there any truth to the rumors that that wheelchair of yours is actually a giant robot sex machine? So you're saying it's definitely not a mechanized sex robot. However, Hawking wasn't listening to us, as he and his two buddies from Dave & Buster's shot eye lasers up at this woman's baby maker. A Brazilian man tried to open a checking account with false identification last week. The picture on the card? Jack Nicholson. Apparently free checking is hard to find in Brazil. When a reporter asked the man if he had any regrets, he replied, "Yeah, that I didn't use the one with Billy Ocean on it." Armie Hammer was arrested recently for possession of marijuana in El Paso, Texas. However, the case was thrown out when Armie told the judge that he was just trying to watch the movie J. Edgar to completion. Many would argue impossible without the aid of several bong hits. I betcha he just misses his boyfriend. Thanks for watching.
Recognize